Consider the possibility that your branding agency, what they tell you about domain names is wrong. Not every branding agency, but maybe your branding agency. Hey, Chris Zuiker, Media Options. We help companies to acquire the raw, unfiltered version of the brand name through domain acquisitions. Also broken some of the best domains on the planet. So check it out, MediaOptions.com. Now, why am I starting with this with this title, right? Consider the possibility that what your branding agency tells you about domain names is wrong. And I say that because I've reached out to a lot of branding agencies. Just look at the domains you broker. Many domains you broker have branding agencies that call themselves that domain name. I'm not going to pick on any single one of them today, although I could, because there's many instances where they're actually emailing. The founders are actually emailing our clients with sensitive information. But I won't do it. Instead, I'm going to talk about a story today, a story that's going to make my point. And that's the story of Close.com and Close.io. Another cool story in the domain community of a company that acquired the .com. Actually, they acquired it back in February. They just announced it now. Close is a CRM. It's one I use. Love it. Used it for several years now. Very simple to use. It's helped me out tremendously in organizing and recapping my leads and figuring out, okay, who's responded, who has responded, and getting back to them. So, cool software. But here's what happened. Okay, it mirrored something very similar to another company earlier in the week, Carrot.com, which was on Carrot. What happened is that the company had there was a disconnect between their brand and their domain name. And that disconnect, it like showed itself out in a very real way. What happened is that a lot of their customers just started calling them Close. Hey, you're Close. Oh, I love Close. I love Close. And internally, they were calling themselves Close. But publicly, they were calling themselves Close.io because they had to. Because they didn't want that confusion that, hey, they just call themselves Close. Well, then guess what? People would go to Close.com. It's natural. It's a natural part of the internet. It's how the internet works. It's the effortless path because the .com is the leadership position. And so they had this disconnect and went back and forth. At the same point, they realized, like when they first started out, he said, hey, they were just hustling. They're just trying to find their niche, and they're trying to create a product that improve their product out. Okay, I call this hustler mode. They were in hustle mode for a while, and then at some point, they moved to this global business where he's now CEO and marketer, okay, a very, very viable business. And they realized that, hey, you know what? It's not okay. Like as hustler, you're okay with there being multiple brands because you're just hustling. You're trying to get by. It's direct response marketing. Hey, can we make this work? You know, this is cool. But at some point in every brand, every major brand, there comes an inflection point. They say, you know, it's not cool. I'm not okay with multiple brands out there. I need to own with the same keyword, okay? I need to own the keyword that we call ourselves, in this case, Close, or in the case, Carrot. Now, both of those had the opportunity. Okay, they had the opportunity and they acquired it. Now, at the same time, look at Carrot, go to Crunchbase, look at there's different companies. One is Carrot Co., one is Carrot, I think Carrot Security. I did a blog post on this or a video on this on my YouTube channel yesterday or last week. But there's multiple companies that could have acquired that. Some raised $9 million, some raised $2 million. If you go and you look at, in most of these instances, there's companies that they could have acquired, but those founders said, we don't need it. They got comfortable with the fact that maybe that domain was out there, was available. And so they waited. Another company came, in this case, some cool companies, and they acquired it. Now, here's the thing. Like, they're never going to let that go. You go to Close and say, hey, listen, I really want to buy that. I'll give you $1 million. No. Like, this is us. It's who we are today. Same thing with Carrot. You think, like, they're going to let Carrot, the other Carrot companies out there acquire? Absolutely not. Like, never going to happen. So what happens, just kind of take this full circle back. I mean, we talked to a lot of branding agencies, and they say, hey, listen, you don't need to own your brand. Like, don't worry about your .com. Now, and the troubling thing is that when I do reach out to branding agencies, like, they don't even value it. Like, it's not like, hey, we say it's 100,000, you're at 300,000. Like, I just can't get there. No, it's like, we don't need it. They don't even have a conversation. There's no value in them. But when you look at the journey of successful companies over and over and over again, they tell you, like, we have to own it. We're willing to sacrifice. We're willing to put the money in. We're willing to make the investment to buy this asset because it's foundational for our brand. It's foundational for our brand. So, action here. Consider the possibility that your domain name may not be available. If it is available, you need to think, you need to get a plan to acquire it. If you have any questions, reach out to me, chris@mediaoptions.com, DM me, send me a link. Love to help you to acquire that. And if you found any value in this video, share it up.